If you own a home in Central Georgia, or if you're thinking of owning one soon, then you're probably wondering what in the world is going on with real estate right now. I'm going to give you an update on trends I'm seeing from November of 2024. Make sure you watch this whole video because I'll be sprinkling in some insights and some things you should really be aware of as you make these decisions. Let's start with a broad overview, and then we'll get into some specifics. We know the adage when it comes to real estate, right? It's all about location, location, location. Well, I'm going to be talking to you about the area that people consider South Metro Atlanta in Central Georgia. So think roughly between Atlanta and Macon. In November, we had about 4.9 months of supply on the market. Months of supply is just this. How long would it take for all of the residential properties on the market to sell, assuming no new ones were listed, based entirely on the current sales pace? This is a key metric we look at to determine how balanced supply and demand are right now. A seller's market would be reflected with low numbers, and a buyer's market would show high numbers. What we see right now are numbers in the moderate range, which means it's fairly balanced. You have to reflect on how it's changing, really, to determine the trends of the market, and it is up slightly from last month. October was 4.2 months. This change isn't drastic, but could mean a slight shift to a more competitive market for sellers. The average price for a home in South Metro or Central Georgia is $426,000. Keep in mind that this is a relatively expansive area with many different markets within it. The average did go up slightly from last month, but showed no real change from last year, so I think we have to wait for the holidays to pass to really see what's going to happen. The average list to sell price ratio in November 2024 was 110%, meaning buyers were paying above the list price on average. That usually signals strong competition for properties. This ratio increased from October's numbers of 99%, where buyers were purchasing for slightly below the list price. This indicates a more aggressive bidding or an adjustment in seller pricing strategy. When you look at last year's November numbers of 104%, you can see that purchase prices versus list prices are increasing year over year. If you consider the interest rates, I think buyers are focusing more on negotiating the seller's contribution to closing rather than the purchase price of the homes. If you own a home and want to time things appropriately, you probably want to know how long it's going to take to sell. In November, it took about 56 days on average. That's up from October's average of 52 days. This time of year, it's perfectly normal for homes to sit a little bit longer as people tend to be focused on their holiday plans and they take a little bit longer time to move. When you consider that last year the average was about 35 days, though, you can see that things overall have slowed. Another factor is the election year. Days on market averages always trend upwards in election years, so really we have to see what next year brings to keep a pulse on this one. I mentioned interest rates earlier. Buyers are going to be very interested in knowing what mortgage rates are doing. We've had a lot of speculation on this year, and we've seen that some people are waiting for movement before making a decision as to whether this is the right time to buy. November saw rates bounce up and down just a little bit, but they stayed above about 6.8% and below 7%. This is well above what most were predicting early in the year. The November 2024 real estate market in Central Georgia is definitely showing signs of slowing. The key to remember is that that's perfectly normal for this season, especially in election years. If you still want or need to make a move, there are some ways to make it happen. Sellers in the lower price ranges will have a stronger position since they cater to first-time home buyers and budget-conscious buyers. They have a broader market. In this range, which is up to about $250,000, they'll see faster offers and sometimes over-asking price bids because of limited inventory and demand. If you go to the mid-range price point, which is above $250,000 and below $400,000, the market is more balanced, but still leaning towards sellers, especially in areas that have strong school districts, shopping amenities, or a central employer hub. For sellers, you're going to want to focus on a competitive pricing strategy and great staging or curb appeal so that you can appeal to as many buyers as possible. Buyers in the luxury market above $600,000 are going to see homes that have sat for longer days, which means the buyers have more options and less competition. Sellers at this price point are showing stronger motivation to negotiate, so buyers could plan to be more aggressive in their offers. Outside of the luxury price point, buyers can explore homes that have been on the market for a longer period of time. Sellers are likely to be more flexible and more interested in negotiating terms if their listing hasn't moved yet. The real estate market is always evolving, and whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or just staying informed, the key is to watch the trends so you can make smart decisions. And remember, the numbers are just the start of the story. If you want to know how these trends impact your unique situation, please don't hesitate to reach out for a no-obligation market evaluation or property analysis. I'd love to chat totally pressure-free and help you navigate your next steps with confidence. My info is below, so you can call, text, or email me anytime. Let me lend a hand.